Numbers can tell a powerful story. Like 1946, the year Alpha Insurance was founded, or the more than 1 million policies currently in force. Backed up by superior service from a local agent right in your community. For 65 years, we've been right there with you. We're looking forward to the next 65.
For a plan built just for you, contact Talisa Scheichel in Holly Pond.
Smith Lake RV Resort, where you escape the stress. Make it your year-round residential, weekend or vacation getaway. See nice lakeside lots with scenic natural beauty and terrific amenities. Enjoy an on-site swimming pool, bath and wash house, boat slips for your boat, special events and shows. Smith Lake RV Resort offers water frontages on majestic Smith Lake. Smith Lake RV Resort at Crane Hill.
Livestock groups have officially filed a petition to the EPA for a waiver of the current ethanol mandate. The request is for the remainder of this year and into part of 2013. The groups say producers are already feeling the brunt from lower projected corn yields, and with the amount of corn requiring to meet the mandate, it creates a losing situation for livestock. The Renewable Fuels Association immediately responded to the waiver request. The group says waiving the RFS won't give livestock groups the type of relief they are seeking or significantly lowering feed prices. The U.S. House of Representatives has voted to keep the current tax code for another year. Included in that is the estate tax, which has been voted to remain at 35%. Groups such as the National Cattlemen's Beef Association say the estate tax is an unnecessary burden on family farmers. If Congress doesn't pass the measure by the end of the year, the estate tax will revert to a $1 million exemption level at a 55% rate. Well, urban sprawl is something agriculture knows all too well. And when it comes to the Florida Everglades, urban sprawl is encroaching and forcing the area to be drained and developed. The NRCS says this has hurt native animals, plants, and water quality, and now the USDA is working to help restore that area.
Through the programs like WRP, the Wetland Reserve Program, we're working with farmers and ranchers to enter into easements so that we can restore those lands that previously were drained, that eventually is going to contribute to a cleaner water, more quantity of water, and more importantly, a healthier Everglades.
Get acquainted with Affordable Automotive in Welty. Affordable Automotive offers a full complement of service features for your car, truck, van, SUV, and other vehicles. Affordable Automotive also features a full line of famous Bridgestone tires. Stop in and check out the quality of famous Firestone and Peerless tires. Get a size and style that you need. Affordable Automotive offers towing service 24/7. Simply call 739-2290. Affordable Automotive, conveniently located in the heart of Welty.
Patterson-Lust, your probate judge, and I'm seeking re-election in the November general election. The office of probate judge is vital. It serves in many capacities. I'm proud to lead a highly skilled, dedicated, efficient, and experienced office here to serve you in our county. We function as a team. I humbly request your vote, confidence, and support in the general election this November. Vote Leah Patterson-Lust, probate judge.
Good morning. Today's obituaries are brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home. Today's obituaries: funeral services for Brian D. Hale, age 34, of Cullman, are incomplete and will be announced at a later time by Moss Service. Mr. Hale passed away yesterday. Graveside services for Stanley Earl Klingbeil, age 56, of Cullman, will be at 11 a.m. today at the Alabama National Cemetery in Montevallo. Moss Service directing. Mr. Klingbeil died on Sunday. No visitation is planned. Funeral services for Nancy Elizabeth Camp, age 85, of Cullman, will be at 2 p.m. today at Moss Service Funeral Home Chapel. Randy Sellers officiating. Burial in Welty Cemetery. Moss Service directing. Ms. Camp passed away Sunday. Visitation will be 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. today at the funeral home. Funeral services for Henry Martin Mickey McDowell III, 71, of Cullman, are incomplete and will be announced at a later time by Moss Service. Mr. McDowell died on Sunday. Funeral services for Bertha McCormick, age 88, of Falkville, will be at 2 p.m. tomorrow at Moss Service Funeral Home Chapel. The Reverend David Carroll officiating. Burial in Union Hill Baptist Cemetery in Morgan County. Moss Service directing. Ms. McCormick passed away on Sunday at Decatur General. Visitation will be 6 to 9 p.m. tonight at the funeral home. And those are the obituaries for today, brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home.
Welcome to Today on 2. It is Tuesday, the 14th day of August, halfway through August almost.
I know it. Summer's almost over.
Oh, did we say it might rain?
Yeah, I think so. I heard some rain last night and yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, about noon yesterday.
Yes.
Early afternoon.
But did you hear all that last night?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
you slept through it. Okay.
I woke up and went back to sleep.
Yeah.
Didn't pay much attention.
Must have knocked our electricity off because the lights were flashing,
really?
the clocks and stuff were flashing, yeah.
Okay.
So, anyway.
Well, let's see what the weather's like for today. Our weather brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet on Cherokee Avenue. Make the switch to Mitch. Weather almanac for the 14th of August. The average high temperature 92. The average low is 66. The record high, same year as yesterday's record. Remember, yesterday we had a high of 106 in 2007. Well, today 105. Boy, back-to-back days like that. Record low 53 back in 1983. Sunset this evening 7:35. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 9 minutes after 6. There's the satellite picture. You can see what's going on around the country. Rainfall here and there, thunderstorms here and there. And there's the latest satellite picture over the southeast. Here's the forecast for today. It'll be another cloudy day today. Slight chance of rain with a high of 85. Partly cloudy tonight, slight chance of rain, low near 66. Sunshine returns tomorrow, high temperature 88. Up to 90 on Thursday, 87 Friday. Look at the weekend, 82 Saturday and Sunday as we get close to football season.
I tell you, fall just might come in here a little bit earlier than usual. Yeah.
Could be.
You know, you mentioned 2007.
Yes.
And I remember that was the year that we had the drought. Remember how it just hardly rained at all that
we had
summer?
to conserve water. Lake levels were so low that same year?
Yes, it was, because my mother-in-law passed that year, so that's how I can remember. But, yeah, it was that year that we hardly had any rain at all. I don't remember it being that hot, but I remember it being dry.
Yeah.
Definitely dry. So, yeah.
Well, if the weather continues and early, we'll probably have snow by Oktoberfest.
Oh, yeah. You know, you laugh, little, but I do remember one time, October the 31st, we had snow.
So do I.
Here?
Yes, we did. The kids
For
were
Halloween?
Yes, we did. The kids were at St. Paul's, and I remember Jennifer and I were trying to go to their fall festival, and it snowed that day.
Wow.
October the 31st. Isn't that, or it might not have been the 31st, but, you know, at the end of October. Yeah. Yeah. So, see? Hey, I'm not so far off.
If it snows on Oktoberfest, I hate to think what it'll be by New Year's.
I know. Well, then it'll be spring by New Year's.
Well, that's true. Like this last winter, pretty mild.
Yeah, craziness.
Oh, goodness. Yesterday, we didn't get to a topic Jacqueline and I talked about before we went on the air about the Republican vice presidential nominee, Paul Ryan.
Right. We've got to really concentrate on his name because we want to get it confused with other names out there. But I didn't really know anything about him. But my son and Mike said, they knew who he was, and personally, I think he looks like a good candidate. I'm kind of getting excited.
Yeah, he made a name for himself when he came out during the budget proceedings with a Republican version of the budget, which called for substantial cuts in the budget. And they say that evidently he's a real good guy with numbers.
Right.
And they said that he could just cut through all that material and find a lot of places to cut. Of course, that will be the criticism that they will have, is the fact the Democrats will key in on everything he wants to cut.
Well, it's a scare tactic.
Anything the government cuts affects somebody.
Sure, but it's a scare tactic. But John Boehner was interviewed last night, and he said, guys, if we don't do something, it's going to go away anyway. It's going to go bankrupt. We're not going to have enough money to pay everybody's benefits anyway. So we have got to address it. He said the Democrats just want to let it happen, and it's going to be a very bad situation if we don't address it now and do something about it, so everybody can continue to still have benefits. So
anyway, that's the vice presidential nominee.
Right.
Mitt Romney's first major decision.
Right. And I think it's a good one. I mean...
Yeah, I thought it was, too. I was familiar with the guy and thought it was a good choice, too.
So, and I think he threw a curveball.
Yeah, he did.
I think
a lot of people.
Nobody was talking about him as a potential candidate. Everybody was talking about all these different governors and all across the country, but that wasn't one of their picks.
Yeah.
But I did get to see an interview with Brett... who's the guy that has on Fox at 5 o'clock that comes up? Not Brett Hume.
Brett Baer?
Brett Baer, yes. He had done an interview with Paul Ryan back in April just because he thought, let's get some interviews with several different people. And he was talking about foreign policy. Because that was another thing I think that the Democrats were going to really hone in on, was that they didn't think that Paul Ryan had any kind of foreign policy experience. And so, he answered Brett's questions. He sounded very articulate, very intelligent. He knew exactly what was going on. He knew exactly what America needed to do to keep us in the game and stuff. And everybody's making such a big deal about this, but President Obama had no experience either, and he's our president. This guy's just going to be the VP. So I just kind of like, okay, and Charles Kratzheimer, whatever, I can't ever say his name, he just said, it'll be lost on the Democrats, but it's such irony that here they are going to focus it on that when Obama had no experience at all. So, I don't know. Anyway.
Well, let's see. How many days and counting until it's all over with?
About 80-something. It was 90-something last time I looked, so it's like 88, 89, something like that.
I'm concentrating on how many days until football.
I know that. And so how many days?
I'm pretending there is no election this year. let's just talk about football.
Well, by the time the election comes, most of football will be over. Yeah, well, at least mid-season. How about that?
Ruined my whole year.
No, I'm thinking you can concentrate on football and have a good...
Talk about football being over already.
Oh, you poor thing.
Okay, well, let's see. Moving on. We have a Facebook friend of the day. Who's our friend for today?
Well, let's take a look at that. That's Maddie Ryan West, and I suppose that's her family, her hubby and her little baby there. How sweet. She likes the band Perry, and she likes the show Criminal Minds. So welcome to our Facebook family, I guess, is how I should say that.
Family of the day, I guess. Okay. We have a couple of interesting people visiting us today.
We do. Mr. Larry Guthrie is here, and he is with the Livingston, oh goodness, I can't read the handwriting, Chapel Church, the Livingston Chapel Church, and he has recently returned, I think, from a mission trip to Honduras, but it's like his 9th time to go on a mission trip, and so he's been all over, I think, the country and the world kind of going on some of these mission trips, so we're going to visit with him. And then also, we had talked about how that we were going to have Josh Moody on from the Mortgage Center. You know, mortgage rates are still low. People really need to take advantage, don't they, Josh, of these mortgage rates, because they probably won't be around for too much longer. Of course, we've been saying that for a while now, haven't we? But yeah, so that's what we've got going on today. We're going to find out all about that.
And if you want to know what's happening in the news, we'll have George Spear with news and commentary right after this.
Cheyenne, Cheyenne, where will you be camping tonight? Lonely man, Cheyenne, will your heart stay free and light? Dream, Cheyenne, of a girl you may never love. Move along, Cheyenne, like the restless clouds up above.
At Premier Bank, we take pride in serving our community. We respect our customers, and we've won awards for our ethical conduct. We're motivated to do all we can for you, and we're interested in your banking needs. We're efficient, safe, and sound, and our relationships with our customers are second to none.
At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
There's stuff around your house, but we don't make stuff. We make ovens. Dual fuel, double ovens. And they bake so evenly that now delicious is something you can depend on. We only make things for one room. The best room. Your kitchen. We're devoted to it. And you can feel it in everything we make. Nobody knows the kitchen like KitchenAid.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Cullman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Moody. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
Time for news and commentary. If you've got something you'd like to share with us this morning, you feel welcome to give us a call at that number. Remember, we're streaming live on our Channel 2 Cullman website, as well as Facebook too, if you care to take a look. And we welcome your opinions. You know, we've talked about this so many times before. That is that if you have a presence on the web, if you post something, if you write an email, it's out there, is it not? And no matter where you go, it's going to be there. Now, I mean, something I said back in 1973 to a woman in an office in Hawaii came back to haunt me. I mean, it had been distorted, but the way that I mean, my words have been changed, but a conversation I had back in 1973 is on the web. Now, let's say, for example, you want to become mayor, and you decide to run for the great city of Cullman, the mayor's position. What happens if one morning you wake up and you realize this is on the web?
welcome back. My guests today say they're sore losers in the game of love. Please meet Verna. She says she has sacrificed just about all she had for the man she loves. Verna, what's going on?
Well, Jerry, I met this guy.
You know, this is one of those things you'd say, wow. Ooh, say what? The Coleman Times approached or called Ms. Hammond yesterday trying to get a comment to determine if, in fact, that was her. Her comments were basically, if you don't have nothing good to say about somebody, don't call them, she told the reporter. Then she said, you don't need to call me again. I don't like you. She wanted to use a term I don't care to use. I think it's very vulgar, talking about the Coleman Times. And she says, if you call again, I'll have you arrested for harassment. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you don't think that people aren't watching closely, especially your contenders, if there's the slightest rumor, it doesn't have to be true, you know, but if there's the slightest chance somebody's going to get an edge, they're going to find an edge, are they not? We'll talk more about this Friday on That's Politics, but I don't know. To me, it's just a sad state of affairs in this country whenever you reach that point. But that's just, let's face it, it's the nature of the beast. It's called information, and it's called the fact that if you put yourself out in front of people, and if you're going to be an elected official, then get ready, because the standards of privacy no longer apply to you, because you're a public figure. And it's a sad situation, because I see this lady's signs in places across Coleman, the city here, you know, running for mayor. Did we have a call there? I suspect. Before I move on to another issue here, let's try that and see what it says. Good morning. Morning. What do you think?
That's the weather radios. You heard anything about them?
I talked about that the next morning. Did you call that?
Yeah, but this is for another friend. They're out in the country.
Okay.
They can't get you, you know, but theirs is not going off.
Yeah.
And,
have they called EMA to tell them?
Yeah, one of them called.
Okay.
And said that they didn't know what was, so we didn't know where you'd heard anything.
No, I'll have to call back and find out just how many have been reported, because
I live here in town, and mine come on yesterday.
Now,
Weather, you know.
The EMA director said that sometimes those antennas where they broadcast those things, you know, out to the county, can get shifted because of wind or whatever. And as a result, there may be some areas not covered, and it may be a case of that situation. So I'll call Phyllis, and we'll see just how many people have been reporting outages.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Otherwise, in Coleman County, isn't it interesting that we had the story last week about someone pretending to be a sheriff's deputy stopping a woman on I-65. Wasn't really a deputy. Now it's happened again, apparently on Day Gap Road. Maybe somewhere down toward Good Hope in that neck of the woods, because the WIAT television has quoted someone from that area saying that they stopped them and it was scary. I don't know, but the city, or rather the county sheriff's office, says that if someone pulls you over, they're going to have identification, and they're going to usually have a marked car. Now, not always, because sometimes unmarked cars will pull people over, but for the most part, you'll see a marked car. Put on your emergency blinkers, okay, if you're pulled over, to acknowledge, of course, that you're being stopped by someone. If they're of course, it's not a matter of your situation; it's a matter of them if they're not really the person that they claim to be. But they're trying to figure out who this person is. Alabama ranks number 4 in the nation on the obesity scale, and only 3 others can beat us. And who's that? Why is it Mississippi always gets the first place when it comes to bad news, right? Mississippi, apparently slightly better, with a rate somewhere, well, I don't know, 34.9% of their male population or adult population is fat. Louisiana, 33.4 is the second. And then West Virginia. All those mountains, you'd think they have a hard time keeping the weight on, having to walk those things. Nonetheless, West Virginia, and then Alabama. And Albertville. You know, isn't this the kind of story you just hate to read, especially if you live in an area where it happens? Lady loses her python, 11-foot python snake. Now, what is it? She goes out and checks on they call him Rogue. Oh, great name for a python, Rogue, right? Anyway, she goes out to check on Rogue, and he's okay right before dark, but she goes out after dark, and he's not there. Well, that's when I would probably be using a flashlight, most likely. Anyway, in Albertville, a big snake is on the loose. Well, you know, just whenever you think that it can't get any livelier when it comes to politics, thinking about Huntsville, how about the good town of Graysville, Alabama, down there in Jefferson County? Graysville City Council last night voted a resolution to accept a legal agreement with the mayor, Doug Brewer. He's been accused of wrongdoings. They're wanting him to resign. Apparently he's agreed to, so by the end of the day, they'll be looking for another mayor in Graysville. He was first elected in 2004, then elected to a second term in 2008. In his real job, I guess you might call it, with this company, he was accused of having a hostile environment toward the female employees, so he got disciplined for that. Now it has carried over, people signing petitions trying to get rid of the good mayor. The Alabama Democratic Party is going to hold a hearing this Friday to disqualify Harry Lyon as the party's nominees for Chief Justice, running against the judge. What was his name here all of a sudden? Roy Moore. Yeah, Roy Moore. Apparently, on Monday, State Democratic Party Chairman Mark Kennedy issued an order for Lyon to appear before the party's executive board in Birmingham to show why he should not be disqualified for violating party bylaws. Yes, Lyon, who's a Pelham attorney, has run several times for the state office without success, so he expects to be kicked off the ballot Friday and for the party to name a new nominee. Not sure what all is going on in the background there, but that's a terrible situation to have to face, especially if you spend as much money as your opponent has, and sometimes you don't have to spend a lot of money if you're lesser known of the two names. And that's the thing about this race in Coleman. Whenever you see, they'll put the name on the ballot alphabetically, so that means that other names besides Hammond will go. If it's after the letter H and your last name starts with, let's say, a P, your name goes farther down the list. And when that happens, there's a certain disadvantage that you have. Analysts, political analysts, and gurus say that when people look at a list, they tend to choose, if they don't know any of them, the first or second name. Go figure why. I don't know why that is, but they say so. So any edge is a good edge, I guess, if you're running for mayor. CNN really catching a lot of heat. Not CNN, but NBC catching a lot of heat, because during the closing ceremonies for the Olympics, they decided to go and cut it and go to a new show that was premiering. I guess they were hoping to catch people before they left the viewing audience, you know, watching the Olympics, but people wanted to see the closing of the Olympics. I'm not sure what all was included in the closing. I know one thing, sometimes you just can't win, you know, and when it comes to trying to show TV shows and do the right thing, we took, for example, here, and that applies across the board, back 6 months or so ago, we were attempting to change some programming up, and we decided to take the Rifleman off the air and put something else on. I'd been showing it for about 2 years, you know. Well, they only make so many episodes of a show, and after you've shown them about 3 or 4 times, you say, well, isn't that enough? Not necessarily. So look at I Love Lucy. Look how often that has been played, you know, and it's still showing somewhere in America, I'm sure, on some network. But at any rate, sometimes you don't always make the right decision. Locally here, we're going to be playing, let's see, we talked about it, Dick Powell's Zane Grey Theater. That was one of those anthology series. It's like a Western, of course, you know, where they'd have a new episode each week. Robert Ryan is in the first episode that we'll be playing next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow. And he is one of those actors that really had a name. He was a Marine and during World War II. And so we'll be playing Zane Grey Theater coming up. The Muskogee Nation of the Creeks is demanding an Alabama tribe halt their plans to build a mega casino on ancestral land in Wetumpka, Alabama. The Poarch Indians are planning on building a casino. The Muskogees not very happy about this plan because they say they're violating a burial ground. And the Poarch Indians, who, of course, they've got their own business here, do they not? Having a casino and a gambling, that's the way it is allowed in America. If you're a Native American, you have Indian land or your area, then you can do what you want, basically, and not have to follow the federal rules when it comes to gambling. So we'll see how that plays out. All right, stay tuned. Coming up more today on 2 after these words.
We're entirely too lax around here. Now, in the big city jails, they give sobriety tests.
Sobriety test?
Yeah, to find out whether or not a man is sober. And I think we ought to do it here, too.
Well, Barney, I believe a sobriety test is given to a prisoner when you first bring him in. Now, you ought to have done that to Otis last night.
Oh, Andy, you know we couldn't have given a sobriety test to Otis last night.
Well, why not?
He was too drunk.
The Andy Griffith Show, starring Andy Griffith, with Ronnie Howard. Also starring Don Knotts.
You'll get used to it after you've been here a while. That goes on practically every morning. Right.
Oh!
Hey, let's do that. We're going to fight.
Take your time, boys. Where do you think you're going to a fight?
Voting has gone through a lot of changes in America since the days of the early West. Because they were short of pencils and paper at that time, they used various things as ballots. Feathers, beans. In one section of Arizona, they used bullets. If it was loaded, it was a vote for one candidate. And if it was empty, it was a vote for another. If a fellow wasn't careful, his whole campaign could blow up right in his face. Dick Powell. Zane Grey Theater.
Back to Today on 2. Our first guest today is Larry Guthrie, and Larry is a member of Livingston Chapel Church, has been on numerous mission trips, particularly to Honduras many times. Larry, good to have you on the program today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How did you first get interested in going on mission trips?
In 2004, I was asked to go to Honduras with a group, and me and 4 other guys from our church went. And then we had a wonderful time. I had went in 1990 to Jamaica and actually built a physical church. And then that year God called me and to go that year to Honduras in 2004. And God really spoke to me. He says, you built me a physical church in 1990 in Jamaica. He said, go with me this year to Honduras and help me build a physical church along with the other stuff. So I went that year. We built and actually worked on a church. And then the next year, God led me to go back to the same place and take a team that year. And we did. And the group that we go with is AMEN Group, Alabama Honduras Medical Education Network, which was started by Dr. Tom Camp in Jasper, Alabama in '98. And since then, many teams has developed from this group, and which is one of our team, which is our team, and our team is it's a God thing, and it's not compromised of just Livingston Chapel folks. It's whoever God puts on this team.
So you invite others to join you, and
yes, my invite is if you go, I'm asking you to go, and but I'd like for you to pray about it, and if God leads you to go, I have no other choice but to let you go with this team. It's God's team, and it's not mine. But anyway, God, it's a medical team, and I am a construction worker, and so.
I was going to ask if you had construction background, so you're physically building churches. But why did you decide to go with the medical team?
Well, it is a medical organization, a medical group, and so the first year that I led a team was strictly construction, and then some folks approached me the next year and says, let's take a medical team, and I just opened my big mouth and says, sure, get me some folks, and by then they did. And one of them being Bill Coons and his wife, who are pharmacists and RN, and along with some other RNs and some doctors here in Coleman. Miss Lisa Jones went with us that year, and we took a medical team. And so Bill and his group do the medical part. I just get them down there.
Because there are logistics involved in going to these third world countries or out to these areas that don't have a whole lot of facilities, and you've got to be able to house the people that are coming in.
Yeah, my main work as team leader is organizing it and getting them down there. Mm-hmm. And then my team always says all I do is just ride around and eat donuts, you know what I mean, while I'm down there. So I get them down there, and my job is to keep them working. You know, people like Bill Coons, you got to keep him hooked up, you know. We took 29 folks, 29 U.S. people went this year with 2 teams in June. Honored and privileged to have Phil Freeman and his lovely wife Patty to go with us this year. What a blessing they were. And sad to say that I didn't get to go this summer, even though I was team leader. My mom was diagnosed with cancer and actually passed away while they were in Honduras. But this team went down there, and they've done a magnificent job. It just shows that, you know, well, how could you go without a team leader? Mm-hmm. Well, it's God's team. And that's our name, and they just had the best trip they said they've ever had. Mm-hmm. And so,
how do they encourage the people, the locals, to come to them? What do y'all do to get the word out that they're coming and that they're there?
Well, we work with Cruzadas Church in Honduras, and they know we're coming. In fact, they coordinate everything in Honduras for me, and they set up our interpreters and buses and transportation where we're going to go. They set all that up, and so as we go to these places, they know we're coming in advance, and they're waiting on us. They got us welcome signs, and they know we're coming.
So your group goes to the people. The people don't necessarily come to your group, right?
We go out in the sticks. We go out in the country. We go out in the hills, and right now we're working in a little community called Bellari for the last 2 years. And it's just a little medical clinic that's out in the boonies and run by an American lady. And we actually, sometime from that place, we will satellite into little small communities in the neighborhood.
So there is somebody there kind of full-time? This American lady is there pretty much full-time?
She stays down there about 6 months out of the year.
Okay.
And she coordinates our work right there. But we work with the Cruzadas Church, which is in La Ceiba, Cruzadas de Evangelica, and they're mainly our leaders and coordinators and stuff like that, and that's who we work with through there.
Larry, tell us a little bit about Honduras.
Honduras is a very, very hot country. It's a beautiful people. We keep being told that it's one of the world's most dangerous countries. And I'm sure there's some bad places and stuff, but we have had no problem whatsoever on our mission teams while we're in Honduras. But now we're careful about where we go, and we're careful about what time we go. They speak Spanish, and they're just precious people to us. Of course, God's put them on our heart, and they're very precious people.
And so the people appreciate, apparently, what you're doing. And in an effort to try to help them physically, you're also trying to administer to them spiritually, I would imagine.
Yes. We have 2 tools. One is medical, and one is prescription eyeglasses. And we go and do medical, and we do prescription eyeglasses. And doing so, they let us share Jesus Christ with them. We give them Bibles. We set up little stations at the end of our medical clinic where they can come and have prayer. And we talk and share Jesus Christ with them.
What kind of religion do they normally have?
They're there's a lot of Catholic down there.
I was going to say.
There's a lot of Seventh-day Adventist down there, but there's a lot of evangelical churches down there also. And I'm not into religion. I just want to tell them about Jesus Christ, and that's what we go down there to do, not promote Methodism or any other religion.
Okay. Tell us about the box you brought.
We send a container. Amen organization goes twice a year. Amen organization sends containers twice a year, and in the spring we send a container, and the container that's in the spring gets all of our medical equipment, gets all of our Bibles, gets all the stuff that we carry in the springtime. But now we're fixing to send one here in the 1st of November, and hopefully it'll be loaded with Christmas shoe boxes, and we're doing Christmas shoe boxes. And if you're interested, your church, your workshop, wherever you're at, would like to do some of these Christmas shoe boxes for the children of Honduras. We supply the boxes, you fill them up with the goodies, and we'll get them to Honduras. And
they look like they have suggestions on the outside, like Hot Wheel cars, a small doll, a small ball, soap, shampoo, combs, brushes, flip-flops. So pretty much you could probably fit most of that in here. It might be kind of tight. I guess they pack them pretty tight, but toothbrush, toothpaste. So some basic needs with a little bit of toys and stuff for the kids, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so then you guys take care of actually shipping it. You just ask for the locals to kind of fill it, and then you take it from there.
Fill it and put me $3.50 with the box.
Okay.
And that'll get the boxes down there and get them distributed in the country of Honduras.
Okay. And how many do you typically do you send?
Last year we sent almost 4,000. Praise the Lord, I hope we do more this year.
Wow.
Now, not just my team, but all the teams that works with the Amen organization. Our team done 854 last year.
Wow.
And we're with the team's help, God's direction, we're going to do more.
And how do you go about getting a box?
Call me.
Okay.
256-747-6587.
All right. Very good. So if anybody wants to help and participate, yeah.
And I will come, talk to you, share with you whatever I can do. If we can help someone else, that's what God wants us to do.
Okay.
Proverbs 3:27. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it's in your power to be able to help them.
Very good.
Larry, thank you for being with us. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless y'all.
We'll have more of Today on 2 right after this.
There's something about the moment when you first walk into that new home. It took a lot to get there, but Eva Bank made it easy to get the loan you needed. Eva Bank, as a part of the community, makes lending decisions right here where you live. Our lenders make the process quick and easy with rates you'll love. Visit your neighbors at Eva Bank today and let them help you with your new home loan, manufactured home, refinance, or remodel. Eva Bank, part of the community we call home.
Life lived in black and white is not a life lived. Today, I choose color. To see it. To feel it. To be in it. To be upon it. And to live a life surrounded by it. Today, I put on a fresh coat.
At Premier Bank, we are very proud of the long-lasting relationships we have with our customers. We'll go almost anywhere to meet your banking needs.
Who is the tall, dark stranger there? Maverick is the name. Riding the trail to who knows where. Luck is his companion. Gambling is his game. Smooth as a handle on a gun. Maverick is the name. Wild as the wind in Oregon. Blowing up a canyon. Easier to tame.
Let's see if we can give away some prizes for today on our program. Let's see, we have lunch for 2 at Chick-fil-A, one of our most popular prizes, and we also have 2 cupcakes from Frosting's Bakery. Good eating today is our prizes. Let's look at our merchant ads. We'll ask you a question about one of these ads, starting with Deb's Bookstore, your hometown bookstore just down the road. Books always on sale each and every day. Gift certificates are available too at Deb's Bookstore.
And Mr. Plumber, plumbing, sewer, and drain services available. Coleman's only professional full-service plumbing, sewer, and drain company. Fast 24-hour service, commercial, residential service, and remodeling, and free estimates on new construction.
Mr. Hicks Menswear, men's suits and sport coats in regular, big, and tall sizes. Casual shirt sizes up to 5X. Pima cotton pullovers, 20% off right now.
Uniform place for summer style color and comfort. This is the place to go to get a really jazzy uniform and a comfortable one, because the cargo pants are constructed for comfort in mind. Now available at Uniform Place.
Tires for less, more than just tires. The guys know what they're doing. They have 80 years experience of servicing cars. Come and see Greg and the guys at Tires for Less on Highway 31 North, right next to Earl's Body Shop.
And the crew that stands behind you when you need them the most. We're talking about Earl's Body Shop. They're there to help with all kinds of wonderful things, and they can do large and small towing, local or long distance, at that Earl's Body Shop.
St. Paul's Lutheran School accepting applications for the next school year. I think you said classes started this week.
I think Monday.
Already,
yeah.
So you need to check and see if they have any openings left.
And the Tutor Doctor. Make this just the best school year ever. Free consultation available. You can visit them on the web at inhometutors-alabama.com or give them a call 734-6500.
Save as much as 50% on the Hydromaster tire, brand new to Coleman. A premium quality remold tire only at People's Tires.
Best Hall Market Plots is open today, again on Thursday and Saturday, as early as 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. What a variety of wonderful fresh vegetables, and they do accept the senior voucher program.
There we go with some of the merchant ads. Tell us, what is the name of the business that will help study at home? And it can be for youngsters, and it can also be for adults.
Yeah, that was amazing to me. I was just totally thinking about the kids, but...
They can help adults, they can help kids. What is the name of the business that is advertising with us? They'll come to your home and help you with your studies. And we have a phone call ready to go. Hello, who's calling?
Nancy.
Nancy, from where are you calling?
Coleman.
From Coleman. Okay. What's the name of the business that will come to your house and help you with your studies?
Is it the Tutor Doctor?
Yes, it is. The Tutor Doctor's the right answer. Stay on the line, please. Thanks for calling in. The Tutor Doctor. Yes, they do help adults. In particular, if you need to learn to operate a computer, some of the software on the computer, like Facebook and things like that, or they'll even help you buy a computer. If you're confused as to, well, what should I get?
Oh, man, that is nice.
Yeah. So very, very versatile what they can help you with. Let's look at the rest of our merchant ads right now. The Wellness and Aquatic Center open 7 days a week, at least through this week until school starts on Monday. Splash and play for just $10 a day at the Aquatic Center.
Mullins Body Shop on Highway 31 in Phelan. You've counted on them for 52 years for auto body repair and for towing. And you can count on them today. That's Mullins Body Shop, located in the South Coleman.
Sweet deals available at Dairy Queen. Pick any 4 items, pay just $5.55. They have a cheeseburger lovers special, 2 singles $3 or 2 doubles for $4.
And the High Tide Sports Grill right there on Highway 31 next to Burgess Body Shop. Check out those summer hours. They are closed on Sundays, but they're open Thursday night. They feature bike night, Friday is shrimp night, and Saturday is barbecue baby back ribs.
Night Free Insurance, providing insurance coverage for 3 generations. They know what they're doing over there. Talk to Elliot and Westcott. They'll design a program just right for you and your family, located on 1st Avenue Southeast.
Shimmer and Glow Tanning Boutique. Amanda and Jessica are the owners, and they invite you to come by and get a tan. You can even get custom spray tans if you're afraid of the bulbs and so forth. They also sell lotions, swimwear, handbags, and much, much more at Shimmer and Glow.
Open the door to history and fine prints. Renard's Gallery and Gifts, an art gallery, a gift store, a jewelry store. Custom framing is also available. That's Renard's Gallery on Gifts and 1st Avenue Southeast.
You're in good hands with Sorelli at Doug Doggett Jewelers. This is an antique-inspired jewelry that's very, very popular right now. And, of course, Doug Dockett's got a great selection located right there on Compass Way in Southwest Coleman.
Baldwin Counseling Center, Dr. Howard Rogers says help is a phone call away. He can help you with lifestyle coaching, weight loss, individual and family counseling. The Baldwin Counseling Center. There we go with our merchant ads for today. Let's check the birthday list. Who celebrates on the 14th of August?
Looks like we have a Samuel Harper that's going to have a birthday today, and his name will be put into the drawing on Friday, where he has the possibility of winning that 8x10 portrait from Baker Photography and an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen.
And the weather forecast brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet on Cherokee Avenue. Make the switch to Mitch. Here's the forecast. Another cloudy day today. Slight chance of rain, a high of 85. Partly cloudy tonight, slight chance of rain, low near 66. Sunshine returns tomorrow with a high around 88.
Welcome back once again. We're going to visit with Josh Moody, and he and his dad kind of run the mortgage center, I guess. Your dad probably started it.
He did.
But we first wanted to kind of focus on the fact that you have adopted some children from Uganda, since we've been around the world already to Honduras. Let's go across to another continent. What made you decide to do something like that? Because you already had children, right?
We did. We've got 3 biological daughters, and one of them actually turns 5 today.
Well, happy birthday.
Well, thank you. But my wife had taken we got involved working with an orphanage through our church called Sunrise Baby Home. It's in Jinji, Uganda, and my wife got the opportunity to go over there 2.5 years ago, and God just kind of broke her heart not just for those particular kids, but just for the orphan in general. And so she came back, and we just started praying about it, and guiding God's word about what he says about adoption and caring for orphans and the fatherless. And he just opened every door. And we started in August of 2010, and they got home on July 27th of last year. So
that's pretty amazing, because it usually takes quite a bit of time and money to do this.
Ours went as smoothly as it could. I mean, we've heard stories. There was a family over there last year that was in country for, I think, 11 months or something like that. Wow. So ours went well, but they're doing great. I mean, they've within literally getting home from the airport within about 3 hours, they were playing, and our girls were playing with them, and it was just incredible seeing them, and it's like, they've always been there now. It's just.
Now, how old are they?
Mark is 2 and Stephen is 3. Stephen started preschool yesterday, and they're just typical little boys, tearing stuff up and loud, and running through the house and tackling and fighting, and
kind of different from your girls in a way.
Well,
your girls are kind of
our 2 8-year-olds are. We joke around that they're about this close to being little boys because they wrestle and fight and get dirty. And now our 5-year-old, she's our girly girl. She's the ballerina and the gymnast, and she doesn't want to get dirty. But the other 4 are just it's not uncommon to have a full contact football game in our house at 6:30 in the morning on Sunday or something. So it's loud, but it's just been incredible. I mean, God's been amazing through the whole thing, and it's been good.
So the girls have embraced this and are very happy with this.
Yeah,
right?
it takes on their part. When you bring in obviously 2 more siblings, that's one thing.
Right.
But when you bring in 2 more siblings that are another color,
right?
And from another context of the world, and
totally different background.
Oh yeah,
everything.
But they've been. That's just their brothers, and they don't understand sometimes why other people don't have brown skinned brothers or something. So it's just normal,
And your girls are blonde, fair skinned.
We joke around. Well, the 8-year-olds are brown headed, but we joke around that they got the Moody gene, and that's you walk out in the sun for 5 minutes, you get sunburned. So I got to speak at our church a couple of weeks ago. And they showed a picture of our family, and I said, you'll notice the 2 little boys. I said, they don't just have better suntans than we do, and kind of explained their story, but it's been good.
Yeah. So have your neighbors and people like that accepted this?
Oh yeah, it's we've really had, and that's one of the things that we kind of prayed about and worried about a little bit was how they were going to be treated when they grow up.
Sure.
But everybody's been great. We've had people have asked questions,
well, it's kind of odd.
Right.
These 3 girls that are fair skinned, and brunette,
and the main question that we've gotten, and not in a mean or hateful way, is when there's all these kids in America that need families,
sure.
Why did you go overseas? And that's a legitimate question. We don't have any problem with that, but God made it so abundantly clear that that country and that city in that country was where He was calling us to adopt from. There was no questioning.
Right, yeah. So that's what it was, yeah. So everybody's getting along then.
Yeah.
And the 3-year-old is starting nursery school today.
Yeah, he started yesterday. And their English is coming along. It's the 2-year-old is actually having a little easier time. He's speaking a little better English because when he came over, he was about 22 months, and so he wasn't really speaking. But our 3-year-old, their language is called Lugandan, and he had already developed some Lugandan, so he basically had to forget that, and now he's trying to pick up English. He's doing well, but it's still, there's still some stuff you can't really understand, but he can get his point across.
Oh, yeah.
I can promise you that.
Yeah, if he wants something.
That's right.
Josh, let's switch gears and talk business a little bit. What's happening in housing? Interest rates, I understand, went down a little bit more last week.
It's amazing.
It's one of these things where we don't think they can go down anymore. And it's like you tell people this is the time to get in because they're not, and then they do.
Yeah.
We're still there are people that, I'll give you an example. We have a gentleman that he was on a 15-year, and he came in to refinance and was pulling a good amount of equity out of his house to add a room onto his house, and so he borrowed an additional $30,000-$40,000, and rates are so low now. He kept his payment. His payment went up $10.
Wow.
And so that's the kind of change we're talking about in rates. When we're talking about mid 3s on the 30-year, and yesterday I think we were at about 2 3/4 on the 15-year.
I thought we would have never heard of such a thing.
And when I started in 01, 02, and 03, we called that the refi boom, and rates were in the low 5s, and we thought, this is great, but it's never going to happen again.
Right.
And we thought that a year ago when they were in the low 4s, and so. But it's a great time to look at doing something.
This can't maintain like this, though, can it, Josh?
We're kind of, obviously with things like elections and things like that looming, we don't really know. So we're telling people, hey, if you're thinking about this, do it now.
Right.
Because as long as things are going like they are, they may stay low for a little longer, but no, it's not gonna It can't. I mean,
it just can't. Yeah.
When the economy starts recovering, I mean, that's when you'll start seeing rates. And don't get me wrong, we want the economy to recover, but when it does, rates are going to start creeping up.
Now these are fixed rates, right? This is where a lot of people got into problems before because they weren't fixed rates.
Right.
They had like a rate for like 2 or 3 years, and then they hit this point, and then the interest rates went up on them, and that's when everything kind of started to crash because these people did not have that extra income to afford to pay the extra interest. Right?
And they've really a lot of the products, the loan programs that we saw back in the early 2000s and 01, 02. A lot of them were just flat out dumb. I mean, we had lenders that would do loans with very mediocre credit scores, with no income verification, nothing. And so now those are going away, thank goodness. I mean, those are not there anymore, but now it's more back to common sense lending, and a lot of the media says, well, you can't get a loan now. It's impossible.
Right.
And that's not true. I mean, it's they're a little tighter on some guidelines, and
well, they should be.
You're right. They should be, and if they had been in the first place, it would have eliminated a lot of this mess.
Right.
Now, some of the things we think that they've gone a little overboard on, but hopefully we're going to find that happy medium soon, and we can. But it's not hard to get a loan now. I mean, it's not impossible. You might have to bring in extra bank statements or pay stubs, but it's just part of the process now.
Are people doing more refinancing and remodeling of their homes, or are they starting to pick up a little bit and actually buy different homes?
We're seeing a lot of both. I mean, the refinance market, obviously, because of where rates are. I mean, people are jumping on that as they should. We've got a lot of young first-time home buyers. We've got some great programs that's geared toward the first-time home buyer. No money out of pocket. 3.5% down, 5% down. So it's kind of half and half, which is the way we like it. I mean, we like to see the purchases and the refinances keeping up with each other. That's a good sign.
Yeah, it's not so much that one or the other.
Right.
So
right.
yeah.
So, how is the housing market in Coleman? Are we seeing any more building going on? How is things going?
We're seeing a lot of. Coleman has been, in a very good sense, Coleman's kind of been a different animal. We haven't seen the market decline like a lot of areas have. Now everybody's hit some. I mean, but you got areas like Florida where you had a $400,000 house that might be worth $200,000 now.
Right.
So and I think that says a lot about Coleman's lenders, Coleman's realtors, Coleman's economy in general, because we don't have people losing jobs right and left. I know some of that's happened, but it's very stable right now, and I think we're seeing a lot more purchases, so that's a good thing.
So it's on the rise then. Yeah. Any tips for somebody who is maybe a first-time home buyer? What are some things that they should look for?
One of the things we see that especially with the first-time home buyers, is you got to have some kind of credit. And I know we hear Dave Ramsey talk about credit's bad, but the problem is, if you don't have anything, a mortgage lender doesn't have anything to judge that by. So typically, a lender wants to see 2 or 3 trade lines. What I mean by trade lines are open lines of credit, whether it's a credit card, car loan, something like that. Very low balances. We tell people, if you don't have any credit, get a small credit card, put a tank of gas on it every month, and just pay it off every. But you got to have some kind of credit going. If you can save some money, that definitely helps. I mean, we've got some zero down programs, but a lender wants to see that you've got something, you've been saving and you're capable of doing that. So.
Well, I think that was another problem with everything before, was that a lot of these people had invested nothing in this home, put no money down, and then so why not walk away? It was like paying rent, no big deal.
And in some cases borrowed more than the home was worth.
Right, and if somebody wants to contact you and get a loan, what do they do?
You can either go to our website, www.themortgagecenterinc.com. Our number is 256-734-6193. We're local. We're just about 2 blocks over, right across the street from Premier Bank. Don't have to have an appointment. Just walk in, email us, come to the website, call us.
Okay.
A lot of different ways.
You want their business.
That's right.
And you can loan them some money.
We can.
Okay, good deal.
Thank you, Josh. We'll be back with more right after this.
At Premier Bank, we're a bit old-fashioned. we actually answer the telephone when you call. However, old-fashioned doesn't mean we aren't up to date. With the latest technology, Premier Bank meets the various needs of our customers. Mobile smartphone banking, internet banking, ATMs, convenient offices. At Premier Bank, we have the right products right now with good old-fashioned customer service. At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Coleman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Moody. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
Meet the KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop. It might just change the way you cook. Induction technology heats the pan and not the cooking surface to offer you a new level of precision, speed, and energy efficiency. 9 settings give you different levels of heat to achieve precise temperatures and amazing responsiveness. Water boils in just seconds, making this the fastest to boil induction cooktop available. The KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop.
Now it's time for our community billboards brought to you by Pepsi and Coleman Jefferson Gas. Operation Christmas Child Shoebox Ministry Community Event. If you want to know more about it, you need to go to CRMC in the Colonel Coleman Room on Tuesday, August the 21st at 6 p.m. There'll be brochures, posters, information kits will all be available so you can spread the news about this shoebox ministry. Hearing Loss in You. This is a Lunch and Learn seminar presented by the otolaryngologist Bruce Morgan, and that's Dr. Morgan, and that'll be on Thursday, August the 30th from 11:30 to 1 in the Colonel Coleman Room. This is brought to you by Women's First and Senior Choice. If you have a community billboard you want to share, you can email it to channel2coleman@gmail.com, fax it to 256-734-7680, or be a friend on Facebook and spell out the number 2, Channel 2 Coleman.
Here's the weather outlook for today. Another cloudy day, slight chance of rain, high of 85. Partly cloudy tonight, slight chance of rain, low near 66. Sunshine should return tomorrow with a high around 88. Coming up tomorrow on Today on 2, who do we have?
Well, it looks like we have Tamara on tomorrow. She's a German foreign exchange student with CCI, and we're going to visit with her. And then also Miss Deb Lastly will be back to talk to us about the book of the month and the book of the year and
her favorite book of the day.
Favorite book of the day.
That's right. Thank you for watching Today on 2.
Hope you have a great day.